In our last video, we told you to buy a Speed Queen washing machine. We told you that your neighbor would replace his Samsung front loader 3 times in 10 years because the gasket would grow mold and the computer would die. Thousands of you in the comments said you already knew Samsung appliances were garbage. But here is what we did not tell you last time. We did not tell you that Samsung sold 2.8 million top-load washing machines that could violently explode during a normal wash cycle. We did not tell you that the tops of these machines blew off with enough force to punch through drywall, shatter dryers, and send metal shrapnel flying across laundry rooms where children were playing. We did not tell you that one woman needed reconstructive jaw surgery after her Samsung washer detonated. And we definitely did not tell you that Samsung knew about it for at least 3 years and kept selling them anyway. Today, we are telling you everything. This is the full story they tried to bury. Between March 2011 and October 2016, Samsung manufactured 34 models of high-efficiency, top-load washing machines. They were sold at every major retailer in America: Best Buy, Home Depot, Lowe's, Sears. They cost between $450 and $1,500 each. They looked sleek. They had digital displays and smart features. They were exactly the kind of modern, impressive-looking appliance that a young family would buy for their first home. And inside every single one of them was a design flaw that could turn a Tuesday night load of laundry into something that sounds like a car crash. The problem was the spin cycle. When you washed bulky items like comforters or bedding, the drum inside the machine could lose its balance. A wet comforter can weigh 20 to 30 pounds, and when that weight shifts suddenly at high speed, it generates enormous centrifugal force. In a front loader, gravity helps contain the drum, but in a top loader, that force pushes outward and upward directly toward the lid. Samsung's machines use 4 suspension rods to stabilize the drum, but those rods were fundamentally too weak for the job. An attorney demonstrated on Good Morning America that the rods could literally slide right out of their mounting sockets with almost no resistance. When that happened, the drum swung freely at full RPM, overwhelmed the cheap fasteners holding the top to the chassis, and the entire top of the machine launched off like a grenade. The CPSC chairman called it plainly. He said this was a design failure, not a manufacturing glitch, not user error, a design failure. But the machines did not just break, they detonated, and what Samsung did next is the real scandal. The first reports started trickling in around 2013. In October of that year, a woman in California was doing laundry when her Samsung washer exploded. The force was so violent that she required reconstructive jaw surgery. She was left permanently disabled. This is not a minor product defect. This is a machine that rearranged a woman's face, and Samsung's response was silence. They did not issue a recall. They did not send out a warning. They kept building the exact same machines with the exact same suspension rods and shipped them to every appliance store in the country for 3 more years. When other consumers called Samsung to complain about their machines shaking violently or coming apart, the company's response was to blame the customer. They told people to clean their machines. They offered to send a technician at the customer's expense, about $100 per visit. Warranty repairs were routinely declined. These were not cheap machines. People paid $1,000 for a washer and were being told the violent shaking was their fault. One family in North Carolina had their brand new Samsung washer for 2 months before it tore itself apart. The machine hurled itself across the laundry room, cracked holes in the walls, damaged the dryer, and dented the garage doors. The owner said her daughter and dogs were frequently in that room. She said any one of them could have been killed. Samsung apologized but never sent anyone to inspect the machine and never explained what happened. Another woman had her machine for only 7 hours before it came apart with a violent bang. 7 hours. In Texas, a woman's washer ripped apart with enough force to penetrate the interior wall of her garage and push through into the living room on the other side. That incident became a centerpiece of the class action lawsuit. In South Carolina, a father of 7 heard what sounded like the roof caving in while washing sheets. He fought Samsung customer service for 3 months to get a refund. Every one of these families described the same sound. They all said it was like a bomb going off inside their house. But here is the part that should make your blood boil. Court documents allege that Samsung was not just ignoring the problem. They were actively destroying the evidence. Plaintiffs filed a motion for a temporary restraining order claiming that Samsung was contacting consumers who reported failures, offering them a replacement machine, and then picking up and hauling away the defective units. The broken machines were being destroyed before they could be examined in court or by independent engineers. The plaintiffs asked a judge to stop Samsung from eliminating the proof. Now remember the timeline. Samsung knew about catastrophic failures since at least October 2013. They continued manufacturing and selling the identical machines until 2016. By September 2016, the Consumer Product Safety Commission had received over 700 reports of incidents and 9 reports of injuries, including broken bones and a shattered jaw. On September 28th, the CPSC issued a safety warning. But the formal recall did not come until November 4th. That is more than 5 weeks where Samsung and the government told people their machines might be dangerous, but refused to say which specific models were affected. During that gap, Samsung described the problem as occurring in rare cases when certain cycle settings were used, subtly implying that customers were using their machines wrong. The CPSC chairman directly contradicted Samsung. He said the tops were not secured enough based on a design failure. He said the top just completely blows off. Machines remained on store shelves during that entire 5-week gap, and the timing of this recall created one of the most bizarre corporate crises in recent memory. Because Samsung was already in the middle of another exploding product disaster. The Galaxy Note 7 smartphone had started catching fire in August 2016. Samsung recalled 1 million phones in September. Replacement phones also caught fire, including one that ignited on a Southwest Airlines flight. Samsung killed the entire product line in October. The Note 7 cost Samsung an estimated $5.3 billion and wiped $26 billion from their stock value. And then, less than a month after killing their flagship phone, they announced the washing machine recall. 2.8 million exploding products in American homes. 2 separate recalls for 2 different products that could both blow up in your house in the same quarter. CBS ran the headline, "First exploding phones, now washing machines." A former Samsung employee told NPR that the aversion to accepting blame at Samsung was the strongest he had seen at any company he had ever worked for. Their customer loyalty scores dropped 23 points, and to make the nightmare complete, Samsung heir Lee Jae-yong was arrested on bribery charges just 3 months later. The company was in freefall. But the washing machine scandal was just getting started. When Samsung finally announced the recall, they offered 3 options: a free in-home repair, a rebate toward a new washer, or a full refund, but only if you had bought the machine within 30 days of the recall, which eliminated almost everyone. The repair option was supposed to reinforce the top of the machine with metal brackets. But here is how Samsung actually handled it. They mailed customers a sticker, a literal sticker overlay for the control panel that renamed the bedding cycle to jeans and redirected the other high-speed options to lower settings. The sticker blocked the high-speed options. That was the fix. You paid $800 for a machine with specific features, and Samsung's solution was a sticker that blocked you from using them. One woman in Virginia who paid $850 for her washer wanted an exchange. Instead, she was offered a prorated rebate of $157, less than 20 cents on the dollar. The repair crews were even worse. Samsung outsourced the work to Dish Network satellite television technicians, not appliance specialists, satellite TV installers. Consumers reported canceled appointments, no shows, and weeks of waiting. One woman in New Jersey, herself a career customer service manager, was stood up 3 times. She said she had never seen customer service handled so poorly in her life. Reports emerged that Samsung appeared to be intentionally canceling repair appointments to push consumers toward the rebate option, which paid less than the machine was worth. And some owners never even learned their machine was recalled. In 2018, 2 years after the recall, a father in Irving, Texas had his wife put a mattress pad in their Samsung washer. It detonated. He said that if his kids had been standing there, someone would have died. He asked a simple question: how can a washing machine just blow up? The class action lawsuit was filed in August 2016, before the recall even happened. It was consolidated into a federal case in Oklahoma. The settlement was reached in 2018 and approved in 2020. Samsung agreed to offer enhanced rebates, small cash payments, and refunds for people whose lids actually separated. The attorneys valued the deal at $65 million. The judge valued it at $11 million. Lawyers got $3.8 million. And out of 2.8 million eligible consumers, guess how many filed claims? 65,000. That is 2.3%. The vast majority of the payments were rebate coupons, requiring the purchase of another Samsung product. A legal watchdog called it an abusive settlement, where attorneys guaranteed themselves a generous fee, while class members got stuck with coupons, forcing them to buy from the company that nearly killed them. 9 state attorneys general filed a brief calling the settlement inadequate. Samsung denied everything and said they settled to avoid the distraction of litigation. But this story does not end in 2020. In December 2022, Samsung issued another major recall. 663,500 more top-load washers. Different models this time, but the same brand in the same product category. The problem was a fire hazard caused by short circuits. 51 reports of smoking or fire, 3 more injuries. And in 2024, yet another class action lawsuit was filed, alleging that Samsung top-load washers have a flange defect causing corrosion and mold contamination. The complaint claims Samsung has known about this problem since, you guessed it, at least 2013. As of today, Samsung washers hold a 1.1 star rating out of 5 on Consumer Affairs from over 2,500 reviews. Consumer Reports gives them mediocre to poor reliability scores. Appliance repair professionals have gone on record saying that the vast majority of their service calls are for Samsung machines. Home improvement experts have labeled Samsung an unreliable appliance brand to avoid at all costs. Here is the verdict. The Samsung washing machine scandal is not a story about a defective product. Every manufacturer makes mistakes. This is a story about a company that knew its machines were maiming people and chose to keep the assembly lines running because a recall was expensive and embarrassing. It is a story about a company that responded to explosions with stickers and satellite TV technicians. It is a story about a legal system that awarded lawyers millions, while 97% of victims got nothing. And it is a story that keeps repeating because the culture that created the problem has never been fixed. Samsung did not recall those washers because they cared about your safety. They recalled them because 700 complaints forced the government to act. If you still have a Samsung appliance in your house, go check the model number against the CPSC recall list right now. And if you are shopping for a new washer, remember what we told you in the last video. Buy the Speed Queen. Buy the machine that was built by people who make commercial laundromat equipment, not consumer electronics companies, chasing the next software update. Buy the machine that was built to last 30 years, not the machine that was built to look good on a showroom floor while hiding a time bomb underneath. The most expensive appliance you will ever buy is the one that explodes. If this investigation opened your eyes, hit subscribe. We are just getting started.